Yeah, exactly. I already, yeah, I think that'll look good.
Yes.
It'll be a little bit, let's TV around, sort of. Okay, awesome. Now I just hope I don't have too many fitment issues and my fingers crossed that, because I've done like, I've probably done 50 Squiers where I just take them right down to nothing.
Yeah.
And put all new parts in them, and usually end up with a, like, because when you go to buy aftermarket Pickgaurd, it's like this is all just meant to fit an American or Mexi.
Yeah.
And the newer Squiers, this will all fit no problem. They're all sort of the same size now. But some of the older Squiers have a bit odd sizing.
Yeah.
Sometimes inside the cavity.
And this is super old. It's like 17 years old.
Well, I hope this is rated for a humbucker. Because if not, we're
Screwed.
sort of screwed. You'll have to leave it here.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Okay. That's fine.
I can make it work. You just would have to leave it. But I got my fingers crossed that this is at least routed for, they normally are, for at least one humbucker in here. And the good thing is that that's actual, these are all fender pickups, so it's all going to be, that's going to be fender spacing. Which is slightly narrower than. So the worst thing that we're going to have to do here, I hope, is, and by I hope, meaning I hope that the worst thing that happens is that I have to reuse your old pots.
No.
But we shouldn't have to, because I've made all this stuff fit in dozens of Squiers. It's without having to reuse any of the old stuff. Just means we might have to make a little bit of room here in the cavity, but that will only take a second.
I've never really seen the
inside of your one? Oh, okay. Well, here we go.
I'm excited.
It's not, there's not that much in there to see, but here it comes. Oh, fantastic.
It fits.
We're golden. What the hell is this, though?
Oh, I don't know.
Who's been in here?
Steve's.
Oh my fuck, really?
Yeah.
This is what Steve did for you?
A while back.
That looks like a high school kid did it.
What is that supposed to be?
Well, it's fucking duct tape. Why would you put duct tape in somebody's guitar? You seriously took this to Steve's Music and they did this?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, seriously? That's brutal. Who puts fucking duct tape in a guitar?
Electrical tape?
That's not even electrical tape, that's duct tape.
Supposedly, right? You're supposed to put electrical tape?
Yeah,
if
of course you are.
Something.
Of course you are. Well, bitch, that's crazy. We'll fix that.
Okay.
This is all coming out here.
Yay!
Okay, so I gotta take this out too anyway. Because I've built everything right up to this, right up to the output jack.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nothing
totally.
special, but...
No, not at all, but it's neat, right? Like, if you've never seen the inside of your guitar. Okay, negative, and I'll just leave that long so I know for now. Okay, but yeah, so this is it. And then that's going to be our ground cable. So they've obviously soldered this to the inside of your guitar, and... Jesus, man.
Frankenstein it.
Well, it's not that big a deal, but like, what the fuck? It's not work you would pay for. This is a bit sloppy too. Oh, but you know what? That's encouraging.
Okay.
You have one big pot in there.
Good.
Okay, so yeah, I went to town. I got everything hot glued down so it doesn't mess around on you, and I want to see if this fits. So let's
is that black stuff? Is that...
That's probably
Rubber?
shielding paint
Oh.
from factory, maybe. Oh, there we go. You made it. Yeah, I got a nice little
Yay.
shielded cable here for you. Now let's keep our fingers crossed that this just play nice. What don't you like?
Doesn't fit.
What don't you like? Oh, Mick, look at that.
What?
It's like,
No.
it's nearly there. It's nearly there. Just gotta take a little. That's not too bad. That's. I thought it was gonna be way worse than that.
It's just
Just gotta take
a little bigger. Yeah.
Just gotta take a little squidge off the back end of her. Because you see what it wants to do. It wants to come in here a bit.
Ah.
Which, if you don't mind, maybe instead of messing around with this too much, because then it'll sit flush up against the. Maybe if you don't mind, just take a little bit off in the
Nope.
inside there.
Go for it.
Okay.
It's not gonna change the tone or
No,
anything?
God, no. To take a little bit like that off there, not at all.
Jeez.
No, this is. I've done this hundreds of times. No, you're not gonna. She's gonna want a little bit more taken off. See, I can see here how much it wants to.
Move back, eh?
I'm going to kick things up a little bit.
It has a hole.
Oh,
in
really?
the body. Sounds awesome. Just,
Crazy.
I still have it.
If you want to put a pickup in it, we can always put a pickup in it. Okay, this one.
Snug! No!
Yeah, I just need to cut a little smidgy out of there. Just
Okay.
to straighten it out. It's just a little bit cattywampus. But I wanted to get it. Close, and then clean up the edge. Oh, Mick.
What?
Like butter.
Yeah.
So, obviously your old holes aren't going to line up terribly well, which is not the end of the world, but we'll just drill some more new
Yeah.
ones. But what do you think? It looks good, huh?
Yes, it does.
Right? Like, it totally, I think that looks great on the red.
Oh my gosh. Sexy.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah, totally gives it a new look, eh?
It does. Definitely.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, awesome. Now we know it fits. Let's pull it out of here and get the spray on this shit. This is like, this is amateur hour. This isn't work you pay for. This is work. This is work that you go to your buddy's basement to have done.
Hey!
Eh? Like, that's not the kind of work you pay for.
Bit like,
That's like...
I don't even remember how much I paid, but whatever.
I don't even want to know, Nick. So it'll make me mad. You know, it's funny, but part of the reason, like, I'm not a really pessimistic person, but I'm definitely a little bit
On the OCD
cynical.
side.
Cynical. I'm cynical.
Okay.
Which basically means I just question everything, right? Like, I
That's
don't take
fine.
anything in face value, but I also don't like to be ripped off either, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's cultural more than anything. Just that's, you know, that's my European parents. I'm first generation Canadian. They immigrated here when I was, well, before I was born, and. Yeah, this is just...
From where?
Portugal.
Ah.
This is just a shocking bit of fucking... What is that?
Bye.
What is that?
It's probably like a string.
Like, who fucking even does that? That's... Seriously, come on.
That's why the radio signals come in.
Come on, man. Who does that even? And then charges you money for it? That's not... I don't even like to see that. This is why I don't charge people money. So let me tell you. So the reason I'm just carrying on like an idiot. The reason I began to teach myself to do this stuff is because when I was living in Vancouver, I had a couple of like you know, I'm not really like a great guitar player or anything. I'm just a home player, right? You play better than I do. But that said, I had a couple of guitars, right? I had a Gibson and I had a Les Paul and a Strat.
Ooh.
Right? Like, I was working IT, made a bit of money, so just bought a couple of nice guitars. But then I paid to get them set up. I started watching YouTube videos, like Dave's Fun World of Stuff, right? Like I got hooked on Dave's World of Fun Stuff.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, I should pay to have my guitars
Set up properly.
Set up properly, right? Because, okay, we probably don't. How much do we need? How much should we leave there? That much. And so, you know, we were living in Vancouver at the time. And I said, it was a nice thick copper cable. We were living in Vancouver at the time, so I looked up repair shops and I found this girl. Great. I got a couple daughters. I'm happy to see girls doing work like this.
Yeah.
So I looked her up and she turned out to be like, had been interviewed by the CBC.
What?
And she'd done some work for some, you know, sort of C-list Canadian musicians and that kind of thing. And I thought, you know what, this girl seems cool, so I'm going to give her a shot and go check out her shop and, you know, pay for a setup. Because I'd never done that before. I'd never, since I was 13 years old, I didn't even know that a guitar needed a setup.
Yeah.
Since I started playing a guitar. I didn't even know that that was a thing. Until I started watching Dave. So I got to see this girl. She's like, you know, she's come highly recommended. She's been interviewed by the CBC. Like, she must be, like, I must be going to the best person in Vancouver here, right? Like, this must be...
Best your money can pay for.
Can pay for here in Vancouver. So off I go, right? And go see this lady. And she was really nice. And she was really sweet. And she was really personable. And she talked to me for, you know, a few minutes about my guitars. And I felt great about leaving. Basically 2 brand spanking new guitars with her. So she kept them for ages and ages and ages. I remember that being like, there was really no definite, like, okay, when am I going to get these back? Like, about a week, 2 weeks, like.
You just let me know. Like
Just give me some
you'll
idea
wait, right?
of like, oh, well, you know, won't be long kind of thing. Like, okay. So weeks go by. And now I don't have guitars to play at home, so I'm like, so I finally in there, I'm like, any word on, you know, on my guitars? It's like, oh, something or other, they'll be ready. Come get them whatever day. Okay, great, I'll come and get them. And, sorry, I'm thinking and talking at the same time, which is probably why it sounds like I'm...
It's fine. I know what you mean.
Anyway, so I took them. She had them for ages. I got them back. It was clear the day that I arrived to pick them up that she hadn't been the one to work on them. Not only had she not been the one to work on them, which is fine, right? Like, I'm like, who the hell am I to tell her how to run her shop? She had some. She had. Like an apprentice. She had an apprentice work on them. Because he was the one to hand me back my guitar and be like, okay, it's set up, it's whatever. And then I got talking to her and she's like, yeah, it's all, they're ready to go. So I didn't even really play them inside the guitar shop. As I said, I didn't even know setting up a guitar was like a thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So I take them home and I'm like, yay, I got my like paid $85 or $95 a piece.
What? Yeah.
For a setup.
Yeah.
For us.
Just a setup.
And now that I've done a billion setups, even if I was charging people for a setup, I couldn't charge you in good conscience more than $15 or $20.
Really?
For a setup?
What?
A setup would take me like 10 minutes on any
you just
guitar.
Put a string and everything.
Like a setup, like setup work would take me literally like 10 minutes. For the setup work that you get charged from what I've worked out that guitar shops charge you for, now having done this so long myself and also, you know, having had other people who've had, okay, so I got a ground connection there, we should be able to, it's the middle. These little middle cavities that go between, and if you don't have the wire, just that's why I put a little bit of hot glue there to keep it from moving around.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yay!
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a screw in wherever they fit. And then that way. Yeah, this is so far, fingers crossed, this has gone way better than. Like, I've had some of these open and it seems like there's no rhyme or reason to, like, from year to year how they sort of built these. Like, it just, like, okay, this year
we'll build it like this.
It sort of looks like this, and okay, I'm just gonna put a couple of quick little. You know, we have to drill new pads.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as you know. We're not going to see them, but and it's doubtful you'll ever go back on that. I was going to say, the only thing I would do if I were you in the future is when you feel like you have a few extra bucks to spend, you might upgrade the pickups. That's all. You might get like a different humbucker or something.
Like Seymour Duncan's?
Yeah, something like that. But just for the time being, like this is all ready to go, right? So now that the guitar is already converted to HSS, just makes like next time you have to do this, it'll just be really easy.
I played a lot of worship music, and I looked it up.
Okay.
It's actually the right configuration.
The HSS, yeah. Okay, so you play at church a lot?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So, do you play mostly your acoustic?
Yes.
Okay. But sometimes you haul out the. What do you use at? What kind of amp do you use at church?
Oh, a random line 6 spider.
Just like something that they have there? Or?
Yeah, it's something to have there.
Okay.
I have a solid state PV at home.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, before you leave, you gotta try out my little vintage.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sounds so good.
Both my sister and I are in the church band.
Oh, okay, okay. That's cool.
She sings. She doesn't play anything.
She sings.
She just sings.
Well, just come on. She a good singer?
I'm better.
You're better?
Don't tell her I said that.
Do you guys play anywhere outside of church or?
Yes, well, I have a band.
Oh, good for you.
Yes, I'm in a band. I'm
Oh, that's cool.
vocalist of One Vision. That's the
Oh,
band.
nice. Is that like a sort of
cover
Christian rock band or?
Nope, a top 40 cover band.
Top 40s cover band?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. What kind of music do you guys play? Just whatever?
Yeah, stuff on the radio,
Oh,
80s
awesome.
rock.
Would you guys play like venue, like weddings, that kind of
Yep.
stuff? Oh, neat. So are you for hire then?
Yep, for
Oh.
that purpose, but
Oh, wow.
obviously for church, no.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, you must have like, do you have a band page, like a Facebook band page?
Yes, we do.
Oh, well, shit, you better put a link on it then.
Okay,
Post a link.
well,
Post a link on my Facebook page to it.
okay. So what happened to your guitars? You didn't finish the story.
Oh, they turned out to be really poorly set up, and the action was real high.
What?
They played worse than when I'd taken them in, and I was like, I remember, and she was far away from me. I remember that was like, I was choked when I got home, and I pulled them out, and I was like expecting.
Super awesome.
So I was expecting them to feel good and
Yeah.
comfortable to play, and
Right.
no, I got them out. I was like, wow, these are really hard to play. Is this the way the guitar's supposed to play? Like, if this is what you mean by setup, if hard
I
to
won't
play,
have setups anymore.
yeah, if hard to play is what you mean by setup, then I don't want this. I quit this, and so of course, like, I called her up and I was like,
Something wrong.
like the guitars are really like they're not playing the way I thought they would play. And she's like, oh, you're welcome to come back in or whatever. And I'm like, oh, but you're all the way across town. Like, I'm a bit choked. that you came so highly recommended and
then
that these are not even close to playing how you and I talked about that I would like. I would like them to, I would have liked them to come back. And she's just like, well, that's your option. You can bring them back if you want. And it was sort of like...
And then you're like, nope.
I was like, no, I guess I'm not coming back then. Look, I have worked, when I worked professionally, I worked in IT. I've worked in customer-facing positions
Yes.
all my life. And if I ever treated a customer the way I feel like sometimes I get treated, maybe I'm just too old. Maybe I just expect behavior from people who are in the service industry that just is unreasonable. I don't know.
It's supposed to be like that.
I don't know, but like when I grew up, working in the service industry, egg customers on, you didn't kept your personal opinion out of
Right.
whatever it was, and just, even if a customer was a jerk, just do what you gotta do to get them to be happy and go away. And sometimes people aren't gonna be happy, that's fine. I'm not one of those people. I just, if you're gonna be crazy, I'm gonna call you on it. I'm gonna say, like, this is absurd. And I don't like to be taken advantage of. That's the one thing I get from my parents. That's the cultural thing that's really hard to explain to people. Like, they don't, because they're they grew up in a time where they're very mistrustful of everyone
That's right.
around them, right? Government, people trying to sell you stuff, and so you pass that sort of stuff on to your kids. It's cultural. People don't get that.
Hey,
But in my
I'm
old
from a third
age-
world country, I get it.
Yeah, right?
I
Like
get
some
it.
people do. Some people do get it. I think we're nearly there, Mick.
Right. Just really interested. Sorry, I'm hovering.
No, not at all, please. I'm happy for you to hover. It's totally fine. No, if you feel like you're getting something out of watching them, please. That's why I told. That's part of the reason I told you you could hang out, because I thought you might like to watch.
Yeah.
See it get
This
done.
is so cool. You see, I'm not very handy, although I'm an engineer.
Oh, that's right. You've told me that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just make sure it's all good, and then we'll stick strings on her and she's done.
This is really supposed to be recessed like this?
Oh no, it'll come up.
Okay.
I just set it down. It'll probably end up like just
Oh,
beneath where your
yes.
strings are,
That's how
right?
you-
Like this is just because I just put it in there, and it'll come up heaps.
Okay. Works.
Perfect. Good tone. Perfect.
Yay!
Just like before. Give it a good tug. And when the first time you do it, it'll probably come out a whole step.
Yeah.
But as you keep doing it, if you do it 3 or 4 times, just keep doing it until it stops going out of tune.
Okay.
And if you have a whammy bar,
Yeah.
that's another good one. You just give it a few good dive bombs.
Okay.
Just keep giving her dive bombs until it stops going out of tune.
Okay.
Oh, we're good. Do you mind being on camera, or do you want me to just show the guitar?
I don't mind.
Awesome. This is Mick, everybody. Everybody say hi to Mick.
Hello. Clean.
So like a clean channel.
Yeah.
We'll check this out, Mick. Check out what my amp does.
What?
Give her.
What? There's a
It's got
trem?
built-in- It's got built-in tremolo. Do you notice a difference with the humbucker?
Yes.
Yeah.
So much warmer. So this activates both, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the humbucker in your middle pickup.